This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do over the airwaves of ESPN Radio, 250 plus markets across the United States of America, and of course live on ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Style Channel 80. Number to call up as always is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. I am laughing my behind off. I'm laughing my behind off. You know why? Because it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, best phones, best networks, no contracts. I want to personally thank the Phoenix Suns for giving me a reason to laugh. I want to thank them. I want to show my sincere gratitude to the Phoenix Suns, the 18-40 Phoenix Suns, the moribund franchise that appears to be the Phoenix Suns, the same organization that threw away Eric Bledsoe, sent away Greg Monroe. All right, that Devontae Booker is probably embarrassed to be playing for. That same organization, all right, had the audacity, the unmitigated gall, the temerity to have a player like Troy Daniels go before the cameras and talk about they were disrespected. They were disrespected by the Golden State Warriors, with Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, actually taking a break from coaching the Golden State Warriors and left it up to the players to call plays. You're Troy Daniels. You're upset. You feel like, oh my God, it was just disrespectful to the Suns organization for another team to allow its players to actually call plays and do the coaching against you. But this is in the process of you losing by 46 points. Did the Golden State Warriors disrespect the Phoenix Suns, or did the Phoenix Suns disrespect themselves by showing up and pretending that they came to play a basketball game? How about that? I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Your feelings are hurt? The Golden State Warriors have disrespected you? You haven't disrespected you? You're 18-40. How the hell did somebody disrespect you? You disrespected you. You lost by 46. And what you're lamenting after the game is the fact that the coach wasn't calling the plays? I mean, hell, if Steve Kerr is everything we think he is, and we believe he is, since he's a two-time champion as a head coach, chances are it might have been worse. And by the way, Phoenix Suns, I don't know if you paid any attention to this at all, but you were only down by 28 points after three quarters. So that means when the third stringers were brought into the game, and you had already got ramrodded, you still ended up losing by 18 points in the fourth quarter. But Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors disrespected you? You sound like my producer, Jonathan Winthrop, with his weird, soft self half the time, while he's sitting there putting on his pom-poms. The disrespect came from the Phoenix Suns and how pathetic they looked. That's where it came from. Now, did Steve Kerr, or would he have done this against a more formidable team? Probably not. Which means he walked into the game knowing you stunk and that he could afford to do this. So y'all might sit up there and say, well, that's that's pouring salt on the proverbial wound. That's not his problem. You don't like it? Do something about it. It's very, very simple. Play better. Be better. And maybe you wouldn't have these concerns. 888-729-3776 says 888-SAY-ESPN. That's the number to call up into the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio. By the way, in this particular game, here's all y'all need to know. Think about this. This is a Steph Curry that could drop 50, a Kevin Durant that could drop 50, a Klay Thompson that could drop 37 in one quarter. These are these kind of guys. You know what their numbers were last night? 22 points for Steph Curry, 17 for Kevin Durant, 19, for Mr. Casby, Omri Casby. Klay Thompson had 16. Kevin Durant had 17. Steph Curry had 22. That means, you know what else? Guys like Caspi and Nick Young and Pajulia and Iguodala smoked y'all. Some dude named Patrick McCaw dropped 9 points on 4-6 shooting off the bench. He played 7 minutes. Steve Kerr played all 12 guys. Every one of them scored, including Kevon Looney, who hit the only shot he took. Phoenix Suns, this is on you. And by the way, Josh Jackson, I like you. You got promise. Before 18 shooting, come on, bro. Come on now. You can do better. You can do better. Devin Booker. I said Devontae, I don't know why. Devin Booker didn't play last night. Thank God he wasn't subjected to this nonsense. Sarver, the owner, long way away from the days where Steve Nash was your point guard and Mike D'Antoni was your coach, huh? Pretty damn bad. Pretty damn bad. I had no problem with what Steve Kerr did. None whatsoever. And as far as I'm concerned, any of you that had a problem with, shame on you. Plain and simple. Got something else on my mind, though. Something else that hits a bit closer to home that I wanted to get into. And that's Mr. LaVar Ball making news. LaVar Ball has made news again, talking about how if both of his sons don't end up being Lakers, Lonzo may leave the Lakers so he can go and play with both of his brothers. Clearly he's just talking. Clearly it means nothing, but he is the father of the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. On one hand, I want to say he's nuts. Okay? Number two, what I'd like to say is that I'm telling you right now, this man keeps running his mouth. If he runs his mouth again about the Los Angeles Lakers, I might consider trading Lonzo. Come summertime, I'm telling you. He better show up and play. He better show up and show that he's worth all the noise his daddy makes. And the reason why I say that, because ladies and gentlemen, we've been under the impression it has nothing to do with the son. But guess what? The son is a young man, and you do not have to disrespect nor speak against your father. All you have to do is come out and remind the world, my father's his own man. He feels the way that he feels, but I'm my own man. And I'm proud to be a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. And I ain't thinking about going anywhere, ever. You could say that. There's nothing wrong with you saying that if you're Lonzo Ball. But we haven't heard any such words come out of his mouth. And at some point in time, he's got to man up. He just has to man up. And he has to be willing to say what a lot of us are thinking. You don't have to be disrespectful to your father, nor dismissive of him. But at some point in time, you're going to have to sit up there and exude the level of confidence that resonates in other people when it comes to what they think about you by letting the world know that you're your own man. And I don't think Lonzo has done that. And that's where my issue with him lies. I actually like LaVar Ball. Do I think he's obnoxious and crazy with some of the things he says and does sometimes? You're damn right. But I think there's more pros than cons that come with him as it pertains to Lonzo. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I do not like the fact he pulled his son out of UCLA. I do not like the fact that he pulled his other son out of high school. For all intents and purposes, you got one son that's a dropout in college, one son that's a dropout in high school. Now, they didn't literally drop out. You pulled them out. But it seems to be about what daddy wants instead of about what they want. But that's not for any of us to say because we don't know. What we do know is that Lonzo Ball is a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. And everybody wants to point to this comment. I'm going to point to the previous comment when he dogged Luke Walton. And he talked about how he's lost the team. Well, where would you get that from? You saw Lonzo said nothing to his daddy about that? I don't think he did, but are you sure? These are legitimate questions. The other legitimate question is, when do you get to a point where it's time to ignore LaVar Ball? And as media members, are we responsible for what he has become because of our coverage of him? My answer wouldn't be no. It wouldn't be yes. It would be so damn what? The man's son is the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. That makes it newsworthy. I'm not going to ignore him. I might ignore certain things he says, but I won't ignore him altogether, not as long as Lonzo Ball is a player for the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't give a damn what anybody says. 888-SAY-ESPN, that's 888-729-3776. More the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio. In a minute, remember, Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio.
Hey there, I'm a glue stick, so I have one job. I glue kid stuff. So sorry for being jealous of Geico, who does a ton more, like give you 24/7 access to thousands of licensed agents. And Geico has been around for over 75 years and has a 97% customer satisfaction rating. While I've just got mediocre adhesive skills, Geico also has an award-winning mobile app. Uh-oh, arts and crafts time. No eating the glue stick, Miss Lydia.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more. You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Approximately 15 minutes past hour number 2. The Love Doctor will be paying a visit. Courtesy of 1-800-FLOWERS. Remember, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Some of you out there, Valentine's Day is a very, very important day. It matters. It certainly matters to your woman. It matters to most relationships. Got to make sure you're on point. Just a thought. Love Doctor, courtesy of Martin Lawrence. Show Martin. Love Doctor, to get on out of him, the Love Doctor. 1-800-FLOWERS noticed that too. So they said they wanted to bring it to the Stephen A. Smith Show. And of course, your boy is happy to oblige. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Love Doctor making an appearance about 15 minutes past hour number 2. Until then, we'll continue talking about what I've been talking about, LaVar Ball. Be talking about, Steve Kerr electing not to coach. Yesterday, electing to let the players coach. Steve Kerr met with Coach Jay Triano for the Phoenix Suns at midcourt after the game. Steve Kerr says, I have to coach my team. I told Jay afterward, people may make a big deal of it. It had nothing to do with me being disrespectful. It had to do with me trying to reach my team. I have not reached them for the last month. They're tired of my voice. I'm tired of my voice. It's been a long haul these last 3 years. 3 straight trips to the NBA Finals, lots of games played along the way. That's what Steve Kerr's alluding to. Jay Triano told ESPN after the game, I noticed their plays were a little better tonight, he joked. Nah, I didn't have a problem with what Steve did. That's what he said. They lost by 46 points, shot 34% from the field, didn't have Devin Booker. We get all of that. Phoenix is not a very good team. Okay, whether Earl Watson or Jay Triano's coaching. Bottom line. No other way to slice it. Let's get to the phones at 888-729-3776. Let's go to James in New Jersey. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. Quick question. Do you think it would have been different if, let's say, they were playing Golden State? I mean, if they were playing Cleveland and Steve Kerr had done that?
I think he would have. I don't think there would have been any questions about disrespect.
But what I mean by that is,
go ahead.
To Phoenix. He did it to Phoenix. Do you think he would have done it? I don't think he would have done it to.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
So I think that he does. I think it is a little bit of a disrespecting if he could do it to one team but wouldn't do it to another.
Well, you can look at it that way, or you can look at the fact that the Phoenix Suns stink. And because they stink, it's kind of easy to do it to. Listen, let's not act like players are oblivious to the level of competition they're going up against. You're a world champion. Okay, you win better than 60% of your games. You know that everybody and their mother has you as the favorites to repeat. You got to worry about San Antonio, OKC, and Houston, of course. You know how hard it is to get up for the Phoenix Suns? If you are the Golden State Warriors in the month of February with All-Star Weekend approaching, you looking to get some time off? You know how hard that is? So to me, I take all of those things into consideration. And could it come across as a bit disrespectful? Here's how. You don't consider them much of competition. Okay? So my point to you is this, James. You're the Golden State Warriors. You don't consider the Phoenix Suns competition. So Steve Kerr says, I'm going to take the day off, let the players be reinvested. Let's see what they do. And they go out and beat you by 46 points. Really? That's the conversation? That it was disrespectful? How about whether or not this is the conversation? Did Phoenix deserve respect to begin with? How about that? I think that's a legitimate question.
No, I get that, but it's not like Phoenix did anything to, they know they stink. You got guys like, I think the guys that were talking were,
So I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear, James. So what you're saying is Steve Kerr should have been a little caught up in his feelings and been a bit more sensitive to the competition.
I mean, I guess. I just think that he wouldn't have done it if LeBron James was on the other side.
No. We've conceded that. We've conceded. That's probably something he would not have done against Cleveland. So he did it against Phoenix. My point to you is, what? So? What? Did Phoenix have an opportunity to do something about it? Have a nice day, James. Tristan in Minnesota, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey there, Stephen A. How you doing today?
I'm all right. Go ahead, man.
All right. Well, this whole LaVar Ball thing, I think it's gone on long enough. And There's a term that's been tossed around a few times, and people usually retract it right away, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. This guy is a cancer to the NBA, and he's a cancer to his own son's career.
Whoa. His own son's career, the potential for that to be the case is valid. How is he a cancer to the NBA?
Everybody's just getting tired of hearing about him.
Wait a minute. NBA's thriving. LaVar Ball doesn't impact the NBA in a negative way.
I mean, I can concede that. It's just, for me, I just feel like he is definitely bad publicity across the board for the NBA in general.
Well, he's bad publicity for himself. He might be bad publicity for his son. Let me ask you a question. If Lonzo Ball was playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? You trying to tell me you ain't going to want to watch them because of LaVar?
Oh, absolutely not.
What does he have to do? Whoa. Let me ask the question. What does he have to do with the team playing? He's a parent who's running his mouth. Why would you let that stop you from rooting for your team?
Good point.
Have a nice day. Take it easy. I appreciate you acknowledging it's a good point. Tony in Jacksonville, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Stephen? This disrespect thing with Phoenix, man, it just blows me away. You're playing on the highest level in the world.
Thank you.
You fire your coach after 3 games in the season. That ain't disrespectful enough.
That's right.
To me, that's disrespect. And you trade your second best or first base player and get nothing for him.
Yeah, and traded him because he was at a salon with his girl tweeting about basically you interpreted him as him saying he didn't want to be here and then banned him from playing for the team before you moved him.
And then you disrespectfully admitted that on TV. So disrespect is all
Ryan
around that
McDonough, the
organization.
general manager, that's exactly what he did.
Disrespectful. Keep that in-house. So you've been disrespectful in all types of ways. And now you got a team that's on the court. I coach AAU, Stephen. If I know a team that we can wax, I start my bench. The other team don't find that disrespectful because I did something different. Golden State knows they can beat them. And to me, Phoenix should be wondering, okay, if this is the case, we are awful. We need to fix this problem instead of going at the disrespectful route. Look at yourself. Keep it in-house.
You lost by 46 points to a team that coached or with players that coached themselves. And you going to cry about disrespect. It don't make no damn sense. It really, really don't. Appreciate the call. 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. More to Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio in a minute.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! By the way, Rashad Jennings, former running back for the New York Giants, going to be in Times Square tomorrow giving out flowers, roses, bringing in Valentine's the way it's supposed to be brought in. So I'm bringing him on the show to talk about that because obviously I'm quite sure a lot of people want to know what would possess him to do such a thing and what kind of profound effect does he expect that to have on others for Valentine's Day. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because, Stephen A., it's all about love. It's all about love. Making people feel good as best as you possibly can, at least from time to time. Back to the phones we go at 729-3776. It's 888-SAY-ESPN. Spring training is about to be here. Looking at Aaron Boone up there talking about the New York Yankees. Murderers Road. I mean, the monsters that they got, Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez and the crew, 3, 4, and 5 hitters. I can't wait. By the way, I didn't even bring this up the other day. Why the hell is Yu Darvish getting paid 6 years, $126 million from the Chicago Cubs? Can anybody tell me that? I don't think he deserves it. If it were me, I would have kept Lackey and Arrieta. Why the hell am I giving Yu Darvish $126 million? Did y'all see him during the World Series? I knew he was going to mess up during warm-ups. I was at Dodger Stadium. I didn't like the way he looked warming up. I knew he was going to get smacked around. I didn't like it one bit. But that's just me. Back to the phones we go. Mike in Denver, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Talk to me, bro.
Get right into it with Steve Kerr, man. Hey, look at what they did last night. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Like you said, Stephen A., if they go back to the finals this year, that's 4 years, man, at high-level playing they've been doing. Like you say, man, they tired of hearing him talk. He tired of hearing his self-talk, so just let them run up and down the floor and get their car wears out like they've been doing. You know, they've been beating people like that. So last night was a good game for them to, you know, get their feel and their presence back, you know, before the All-Star break. You know, they need some rest. They tired, you know. And it wasn't no disrespect. You know, all of them grown out there. It's just that, like you say.
Listen, they got smacked around. They lost by 46 points, and they were caught up in their feelings. The Phoenix Suns are just not a good basketball team right now. It's just that simple. And they better get it together quick, because I got news for you. If they don't, let me tell you something. You think I wouldn't love to see Devin Booker in a better team? You think I wouldn't love to see him in a major market? Devin Booker? This is the same brother that dropped 71 against the Celtics last year. Devin Booker can ball. You know, Phoenix better get something around him before he don't want any parts of that place. Better get something around him.
My other little point I wanted to make, man, LaVar Ball, he done just went over the top now. He done went over the top if he really believes his sons, the other two, is that good for somebody to have all three of them signed. Lonzo can't even get himself together yet, and let alone to get all three of them together. And, you know, I seen y'all on First Take this morning going at it. Don't forget to check Jalen out this day like you said you was, to see if he talk about it on this show, too.
We'll see. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for calling. Let's go to Stu in Inglewood. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, man.
Hey, what's going on, Stephen? How you doing, bro?
I'm listening. Talk to me, man.
I'm calling because, you know, I've been the number one LaVar Ball, you know, apologist out of everybody, I'll say, because I'm from L.A., but I think some of the rhetoric is kind of getting out of hand. So my question to you is, do you think, even though it's a different sport, do you think the NBA owners could get together kind of like we think the NFL owners did with Kaepernick and kind of just block the Ball family out? Nobody will want to touch him. You think you can get to that situation?
Well, why should it get to that? If Lonzo isn't saying anything, right, what did Lonzo do that you want to blackball him? It just. I'm thinking like the NBA just might want to just get tired of all the heat. I understand the tired. I asked you a question. What did Lonzo do that warrants blackball?
He didn't do nothing at all. But I'm saying, you know, he want to start to see his own JV, his own league, the shoes. I mean, they might just get together and be like, okay, he's taking from our bottom line. I'm thinking. Well, that's LaVar. But what did Lonzo do? You talk about barring the Ball family. He didn't do anything. Nah, he just hasn't spoken up, like you said. He needs to stand up. He needs to man up. He's about to have his own child. He needs to man up. Well, I ain't getting into all of that. His business is his business. I'm only talking about basketball. He's his own man, and the bottom line is that he needs to stand up and make sure that he distances himself from his daddy's comments. That's what he needs to do, in my personal opinion. But I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Jim in Missouri, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. In regards to Steve Kerr, I think he might have been better served to have his players coach against a good team and get back into their heads with a loss, convince them that he's the coach and he knows what's best. You know, we said he felt he wasn't getting through to him lately for the last month or so, and if they'd had a loss against a good team, he might have been better served.
Well, listen, I think if it was if he if he pulled this against a better team, I don't think there would be any inquiry. I don't think there would be a situation where people are looking at him as being disrespectful. I think that the fact that it was the Phoenix Suns is the only reason we're talking about it from a disrespectful standpoint. Had it been against stiffer competition, I think Steve Kerr would be respected even more for doing what he did.
Right.
That's
I don't think he was disrespectful at all doing what he did. I've played on teams in grade school where we did the same thing or have the same thing done against us.
Yeah.
You know, it's
well, listen, the bottom line
I think he's trying to get into his players' heads.
I think that was his intent, but it came across as disrespect because the Phoenix Suns stink, and they got ramrodded last night by 46 points. If they didn't stink and they didn't lose by 46, we wouldn't be using words like disrespect. And that's the bottom line. I got to run. I appreciate the call. 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. We'll continue talking about LaVar Ball, Steve Kerr, and his decision to let the players coach the game last night against the Phoenix Suns. We'll also get into Greg Popovich and his comments, some very, very poignant comments that he made about America and the culture that exists within our nation. That and so much more coming up. Stick around. It's the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! One of the other things I wanted to get into today, and I want to see whether or not we have that sound from Greg Popovich, because I think it's important to bring this up. It is Black History Month. It's not just Valentine's Day approaching, it's Black History Month. And I spoke about this yesterday because Boston Police Department sends out a tweet honoring Red Auerbach, former coach and GM for the Boston Celtics. Great man he was, bringing championships to the city of Boston and the Boston Celtics organization. First man, draft a black player. First man to start 5 black players together in the NBA. Obviously, hired a black coach and Bill Russell, et cetera, et cetera. We know all of that. But Black History Month, universally recognized as a time to recognize African Americans who made incredible contributions to the American community, not just the black community. Boston Police Department decided to honor Red Auerbach instead, which I thought was egregious. Particularly in a time and a place that has its own questionable history with minorities, particularly at a time where we have folks questioning how law enforcement officials feel about minorities. Just wasn't the wisest decision to make. It was tone deaf. It was insensitive. It was uncalled for. Nevertheless, somebody took it a step further and asked Greg Popovich about the significance of Black History Month and what it should mean to all of us. Do we have that sound from Greg Popovich? I believe it. Put the quotes up for me, please, because I want to read it to my audience. It's pertinent, it's relevant, and coming from Greg Popovich, damn it, it matters. It's just that simple. And so we have to look at it and treat it with the significance that it warrants, and we have to go from there. It's really, really that simple. Quote, Greg Popovich, I think it's pretty obvious. The league is made up of a lot of black guys. To honor Black History Month and understand it is pretty simplistic. How would you ignore that? But more importantly, we live in a racist country that hasn't figured it out yet. And it's always important to bring attention to it, even if it angers some people. The point is that you have to keep it in front of everybody's nose so that they understand it, that it still hasn't been taken care of. And we have a lot of work to do. Very profound statement on the part of Greg Popovich. Very, very much appreciated. No matter how much we've progressed, we're constantly reminded that there's still a way to go. That's what we're looking at. 888-729-3776. Back to the phones. We go. Jason in L.A., you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Yo, what up, Stephen? How you doing?
I'm all right. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to comment on the LaVar Ball thing. I don't think it's such a bad thing what he's doing because at the end of the day, it's putting all of the attention on the Lakers. And I think that's really what it's about at the end of the day.
Well, I disagree with you in this particular instance. Talking about Luke Walton, talking about the players and how he couldn't resonate with young players, that was damaging and all of that other stuff, but it also lit a fire under them, one could argue. This has nothing to do with that.
Well,
this has everything to do with him talking about his sons and ultimately talking about how Lonzo won't be there if his sons aren't allowed to become members of the Lakers. That's entirely different than what you're talking about.
I mean, that's the rhetoric of his persona. We understand that he's loud. We understand that he's a salesman in a sense. And at the end of the day, when he speaks, it's like the barbershop every time because it gets people talking about him.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant to the point at hand. The point at hand is that he was talking about how his players, his sons, need to become Lakers, or his son that's on the Lakers would end up leaving the Lakers.
Well,
how does that light a fire under the Lakers?
That's a far stretch.
Of course it is.
Because, over the position of where their sons are in, the position their sons are in right now, they have a long way to go. We understand that. So that's the comedy in it all, the outlandishness of that comment right there. So, I understand what you're saying, that how can you say something like that? But at the end of the day, we know it's just rhetoric because what's real is Lonzo is playing and he's doing somewhat of a good job. And not only that, whatever he's saying, whatever his father's saying, rather, it's not affecting him because he's still doing his thing. He's still being Lonzo. And to suggest that his words, his father's words, are doing something to his psyche or his mental game, or is affecting him negatively, it's kind of assuming because
you're all over the place, bro. You're all over the place, bro. Because the point is that the only reason we brought LaVar Ball up is because we're saying how outlandish your statement was, and we're saying, look, if you're Lonzo Ball and you don't speak up and separate yourself from this kind of rhetoric, you understand who knows what he'll do next. And as a result, Lonzo Ball might not need to be here. If you can't man up and handle your business as a young man, nobody's asking you to disrespect your father or speak against him. But you're also a member of a team. And if I'm Lonzo Ball's teammate, I got to be careful about anything that I say or do around him if I'm worried about what he's telling his father, A, and B, how he doesn't have the wherewithal or the intestinal fortitude to separate himself from those comments. I got to look at him with shady eye. That's just me. But I got to run. I appreciate the call. Jason, thank you so much. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Hour number 2 up next. Still a lot of stuff to get into. Clearly, we're going to get into what we've been talking about in terms of LaVar Ball and Lonzo, Steve Kerr starting to letting his players call plays and basically coach the team last night. Des Bryant and whether or not he's worth a new contract. How much of a pay cut should he take, if any at all? That's another subject we need to broach as well. Okay, and how responsible is the media for the LaVar Ball craze and all of that other stuff? So much to get into. Plus a little baseball talk. Spring training's coming here. I'm looking forward to my Yankees doing damage this year. I'm wondering what the Dodgers are going to do this year, too. Lots of stuff to get into. And obviously the Love Doctor's going to pay a visit as well because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So let us not forget that. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Courtesy of 1-800-FLOWERS, the Love Doctor. We'll pay a visit yet again. So stick around. Don't touch that dial. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio. Hour number 2. Coming at you up next. Don't touch that dial.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you in over 250 plus markets across the United States of America and, of course, nationwide on Sirius XM. ESPN Radio's channel 80. Number to call up as always is 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN, ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. Lots to get into in hour number 2. Love Doctor's going to make an appearance in approximately 14 to 15 minutes or so. Of course, Rashad Jennings, former running back for the New York Giants, going to be live in Times Square in New York City handing out flowers. We're here to find out why. First order of business, however, for hour number 2 is to get into Des Bryant. He's making news because at some point in time, if they have not already, the Dallas Cowboys are going to approach Des Bryant and they're going to ask him to take a pay cut. I think he's scheduled to get about $16 million this year. They ain't trying to pay him that. They're looking for him to take a pay cut. And so the question is, should Des Bryant take a pay cut or leave? Should the Dallas Cowboys offer him a pay cut or cut him? Now, you're looking at Des Bryant. On one hand, understand this. Dallas got a lot of problems. Jason Witten ain't what he used to be. The offensive line last year wasn't what it was years before. Your number 2 receivers in Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley weren't great. Ezekiel Elliott wasn't there for 6 games, so without him, Dak Prescott wasn't the same. So you look at all of that, and you got to say to yourself that you can't just blame Des Bryant. That's not right. And that would be true. Absolutely, positively true. But there's a flip side to all of that that can't be ignored. And you know what that is, ladies and gentlemen? Is that Des Bryant ain't what he used to be. Doesn't gain separation from the receivers the way he used to. Isn't open even when he's not open the way that used to be the case. Combine that with the fact that he no longer has Tony Romo throwing him the football. That Dak Prescott, as much of a stud as he is, indeed might not be the thrower that Tony Romo, a healthy Tony Romo, was. And who knows what kind of effect that has had on Des Bryant's performance, who hasn't had 1,000-plus yards a season since 2014, by the way. But here's the reality. Des Bryant, because of those liabilities, those deficiencies, and the fact that it is clear that defenders don't respect him the way that they used to, it might require a pay cut. I don't think you just cut him if you're the Cowboys. I think you give him an opportunity to see if he's willing to restructure and renegotiate. If he's not willing to, then you might have to make a move. Because I don't think he should count that much against your cap if you're the Dallas Cowboys. He just should not. He just should not. He's not Antonio Brown. He's not Julio Jones. He's not Odell Beckham Jr. He's not these guys. Des Bryant is not a top 5 receiver in the NFL anymore. I'm not disrespecting him. I like him. Good brother. He's not what he used to be. And if it's me, I'm not giving him that much money. I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. Plain and simple. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Another story I want to get into. LeBron James. There are some people that are out there thinking that I've been a little bit too hard on LeBron James. I beg to differ. I think that today's NBA players, not specifically anyone, but in general, by and large, are so much softer than they used to be. You can compliment them 99 times. You criticize them once, the 99 times get forgotten. I think the age that we're living in with social media and beyond, the whole branding issue and how guys have been about the business of monetizing their brand, they're so overly sensitive to every little thing. They just can't take it. And I think in a passive-aggressive way, LeBron is one of those people. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is the best player in the world. There's no way around this. Any team that could get him outside of the Golden State Warriors should take him. I wouldn't even trade Klay Thompson for LeBron James. Because if I'm the Golden State Warriors, I'm already winning titles without you. By the way, I'm beating you en route to those titles. Why would I trade one of my cogs for LeBron James? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's how I feel. The flip side to that is anybody else would and should want LeBron James. Anybody. He's the best in the world. But that's as a player. As a leader, I contend he dropped the ball. No, he did not want Kyrie traded. Yes, he did tell Dan Gilbert and them, keep him. We'll come into camp. I'll make it work. We'll work it out. No, he was not listened to. All of that is true. But who's to say LeBron James really tried to work it out with Isaiah Thomas and Jamie Crowder there, with Derrick Rose in the lineup and all of that stuff? Who's to say he really tried? I'm not saying he sabotaged anything or whatever, but if they didn't listen to him when he told them to keep Kyrie, who's to say he didn't check out? And by the way, prior to his quote unquote allegedly, but not allegedly checking out, Kyrie Irving wanted to leave. This dude's going to be a superstar in the league for years to come. Was LeBron James not responsible in some capacity for affecting Kyrie in a way that would make him want to leave? And then let's get to the basketball portion of it. Does not LeBron James hold the ball a little bit too much? Does he not dribble for too many seconds at a time? Has he not relegated teammates to being stand-around spot-up shooters? Again, he's the best in the world. And we understand that LeBron could do most things on the basketball court better than most human beings. But part of being a leader is submerging your abilities from time to time to uplift others around you because you know you can't win by yourself. That's what Phil Jackson convinced MJ to do. That's what Phil Jackson convinced Kobe to do. So how come LeBron James can't be guilty of negating to do such things? And why is pointing it out such a crime? It's not a crime. LeBron James is the best in the world. But we're talking basketball. This is why I got on him months ago. And I went off because, you know what? LeBron has a good game and he's, you know, he's euphoric. He has a bad game. People point it out. Then he starts talking about he cares about his kids and he cares about his foundation and he cares about uplifting the community and being a role model. That don't have anything to do with us talking basketball. Can we not talk basketball without somebody getting their feelings hurt? Why we can't do that? What's wrong with saying he's the best in the world, but this is what he's not doing? What's wrong with saying because he's the best in the world and he's this versatile and he brings this much skill to the table that you can afford to submerge some of your game in an effort to uplift? For example, if Kyrie wanted to be a real point guard and he really wanted to run an offense, why not let him? Just so you wouldn't lose him. He's Kyrie Irving. You can't make an exception for that? I'm wrong to say that? These are the kind of things I'm talking about. But to bring stuff like that up, oh my Lord, you're dissing them. You're disrespectful. See, that's why eventually y'all gonna see me on these Cottonelle tissue commercials. You know, that's why y'all gonna see me on these Cottonelle tissue commercials. I'm gonna be a product pusher for Cottonelle tissue. Because if there's a product that NBA players need in this day and age, it is that. My God. You're great, you're great, you're great, you're wonderful, you're wonderful, you're wonderful. 364 days out of the year. One day, one moment. I got a problem with this. Man, Stephen A. ain't worth a damn, man. That's the world we're living in. That is the world we're living in. And then you wonder why all of these non-stories are stories. You know why they're stories? Because of how people react to them. That's why. Think on that before I get back to you. Love Doctor's up next. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. By the way, living dangerously can be a thrill, but waiting until the last minute to purchase her a Valentine's Day gift? That's playing with fire, y'all. Guys, this is it. You've only got one day to make this happen, so do it right and win Valentine's Day with 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, 1-800-Flowers has amazing offers on beautiful Valentine's bouquet and arrangements, starting at just $29.99. But you only have 1 day left. To order beautiful and vibrant Valentine bouquets starting at just $29.99, go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and enter code SAS. Valentine's Day is coming, so order today and save at 1-800-Flowers.com. Code SAS. I'm going to repeat that again. It's code SAS. Remember that. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Love Doctor's about to make an appearance in a minute. Don't touch that dial.
Hey there, I'm a glue stick, so I have one job. I glue kid stuff. So sorry for being jealous of Geico, who does a ton more, like give you 24/7 access to thousands of licensed agents. And Geico has been around for over 75 years and has a 97% customer satisfaction rating. While I've just got mediocre adhesive skills, Geico also has an award-winning mobile app. Uh-oh, arts and crafts time. No eating the glue stick, Miss Lydia.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
To the phones we go. Love Doctor's in the house. Love Doctor never fails. Never fails. Martin Lawrence, you hear me? Chris in L.A. You're live with the Love Doctor. What's going on, man?
Hey, Stephen A. I usually call to talk about basketball. I have a question for you. I'm a single guy. I'm a single father. I don't feel like I have time for women, but there's an event coming up, and my mom was of the mindset that I should, a single event, and there's another mindset that I should go and maybe try to meet a nice lady, and I'm of the mindset.
No, you're talking too fast. You're talking too fast. You said your mother said you should go.
Yes.
What kind of event is this?
It's a singles only event, and my mom was like, I should go and try to meet a nice lady. I'm like, no, I'm focused on my career, getting where I'm trying to go, being a dad, and when the time presents itself, God will put me in the right place for the lady who's supposed to come.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30, right?
Yes, sir.
You're a single father, right?
Yes, sir.
What kind of influence has your mother had in your life?
Major.
Your mother's a wonderful, God-fearing woman, isn't she?
Absolutely. That's where I get it from.
So if your mother's a wonderful, God-fearing woman, right?
Yes.
And she's had that kind of profound impact on your life, right?
Yes, correct.
And you're a single dad.
Yes.
What makes you think that you wouldn't be blessed enough to find a wonderful woman that can be that wonderful influence in your child's life? Shouldn't that be incentive enough?
No, all that. I mean, I agree with you, Stephen. But my thing is, why do I have to go out there and search for it? Why can't I let God put me in the right place, bring the woman to me?
You're not searching for it. You're going to a singles event. The fact of the matter is there's no harm in it. You never know who you'll meet. The fact is that you're working hard, you're grinding to provide for your child, and that's what you're married to at this particular moment in time. Fair enough. But if you go someplace, particularly to an event where everybody there is single and they know why they're there, you can go there and just chill. You don't have to go there stalking anybody and, and being in anybody's face, but you can go there to see. You can go there to spectate. You can go there, if for no other reason, just to get out and to get away from fatherly responsibilities for a moment and just enjoy yourself. You never know, because a lot of times, and it's not just in situations like this. A matter of fact, most instances it's not this kind of situation, but a lot more often than not, people actually use our Heavenly Father as a crutch. They say, well, God has a plan and God will make this happen. Well, God ain't going to make anything happen for you if you standing still and waiting.
But that's my thing, though, Steve. I'm not in any rush, though. That's the difference. You see what I'm saying? My mom is, okay, you're 30. I want you to start having more children. I need to focus on your career, but I'm not in any rush, though. See, I feel like a woman more hinder me more than anything. This is the difference on where I'm going.
But what I'm saying to you is that that's a decision you can make whether you went there or not. So what's the harm in going? You act like going is harmful, and it's not. You have everything that you're saying right now. You can say the same thing once you go. You can say the same thing after you go and leave. Why are you acting like going is a hindrance to you when it's not.
All right. All right, Love Doc. I just feel like there's more productive stuff I can be doing, but I understand. I'll listen to it, Stephen.
You talk about this more productive stuff. There's always the next hour and the next day and the next week and the next month and the next year. Let's not act like doing something in the moment is going to take so much away from your life. Now get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. Let's go to Kevin in Mississippi. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, Stephen A., what's going on, man? Long time. This is the first time call. I really enjoyed the show.
All right, get rid of that noise in your background. Talk to me so my listeners can hear you. What's your problem?
Yes, I want to propose to my girlfriend on Valentine's tomorrow.
You want to propose to your girlfriend on Valentine's tomorrow? Okay, so what's the problem? That sounds like a beautiful thing.
Well, I'm trying to see, like, we're going to the movies, we're going out to eat. I want to know what would be the best time to propose to her, like, it's a movie.
You want to know, hold on. You want to know when would be the best time to propose, at the movies or someplace else?
Yes, like.
Oh my Lord. Okay, I'm here for you. How old are you, man? How old are you, Kevin?
I just turned 35, Lord.
You just turned 35, and you're asking me whether or not the movies is an appropriate place to propose. It is not an appropriate place to propose. Here's the deal, Kevin. You don't want any distractions. You don't want some 100-foot screen as a distraction or a movie as a distraction. You want her undivided attention. And you certainly want her to be able to look into her eyes, right? And for her to look into yours, right, Kevin?
Yeah. Right,
well, how's that going to work out if you're in the darkness of a movie theater?
No,
that doesn't work.
We're going out to eat, and we're going to a show later on, too. I'm trying to see, like, what would be the best place to do it at.
Here's the deal. Before you take her out, okay, you let her get dressed. You let her look all pretty. And in a comfortable place, whether it's in her crib, your crib, or if y'all live together, let her turn around, surprisingly so, not even knowing what's coming. And you're on one knee with a ring in your hand, looking into her eyes and letting her know, no matter how beautiful my world is, it's nothing without you. I want you to spend the rest of your life with me. Will you do me the honor of being my wife? You don't wait until you go out and have a good time. You do it before you go out, because chances are she's going to say yes to you. And when she says yes, that's just going to elevate the evening even more. Suddenly dinner's going to be better. The movie's going to be better. She's going to wrap her arms around you just a little bit tighter, feeling a little bit more comfortable, if not a lot more comfortable. And the smile is going to last significantly longer than it normally will. And you didn't just have a Valentine's Day moment. You truly, truly had a Valentine's Day. And by the way, while you're doing that, you got to also make sure you order some flowers from 1-800-Flowers. Get it and pick it up.
I already got them on the way, Lord.
That's right. You got them on the way. You understand? Sure. So you're going to be that way. You're going to make sure your whole day is special. Now get on out of here. I'm the Love Doctor. 888-729-3776. That's 888-SAY-ESPN. That was the Love Doctor, courtesy of Martin Lawrence. Show Martin. Comedy show that was on for years. It's not my idea. It was his. It's beautiful. More to Stephen A.Smith show in a minute. Rashard Jennings, former running back for the New York Giants, giving out flowers in Times Square. We're about to find that out. We're about to find out why. We'll talk to him about that, too. That and so much more in a minute. You're listening live to Stephen A. on ESPN Radio.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Excuse me. What's your name? Ow! It's a bunch of women in Times Square that might be saying that in just a little while, about 24 hours from now, because they're going to see this dude, good-looking dude, looks like a football player, is a football player, formerly of the New York Giants, that's going to be in Times Square tomorrow, handing out roses on Valentine's Day, courtesy of 1-800-Flowers. 1-800-Flowers. I'm talking about former running back for the New York Giants, one and only Mr. Rashard Jennings is on the line with us right now. What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
What's up, Steven? How you doing, man? I'm good.
Man, what are you doing, man? You making life hard for the fellas, man. I mean, you in Times Square giving out roses to women. I mean, what is this about? Explain yourself, Rashard.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm making it easy. I'm giving an example. So they could just follow lead. But no, I'm I mean, you know, I got a chance to take off my helmet and do other things. Dancing with the Stars was one of them, and I got to show my infallible like romantic side. So being that I am a hopeful romantic, I get a chance to on the day that is a public affection of love, I get to be a symbol and make Women's Day. So making people feel special no matter their ethnicity, background, culture. I wanted to partner up with 1-800-Flowers simply for the fact that 1-800-Flowers has the exact same mission as a company as I do as a person, and that's putting smiles on people's faces. So that's what
I must confess, sir. I mean, listen, I was raised by 5 women. I would know the question that women out there would want to know. So I'm going to ask it to you, Rashad Jennings. I mean, you're a good looking dude. You're one season 24 Dancing with the Stars. You look good. You're an athlete. You can dance and what have you. Clearly you can dance. Why do you, when you talk about public displays of affection, you are single, are you not, sir?
Man, you should be an agent the way you hype me up, but no, I am.
Well,
single.
why are you single? Why are you single since you know what to do and how to put a smile on a woman's face? A woman would ask, well, why is Rashad Jennings single, sir? Your answer to that would be what?
So this is a new chapter of my life as I officially hung up my cleats. And so in this chapter of my life, I do intend on finding who Mrs. Jennings is.
Is that right? So in other words, you put that on pause and delayed it in favor of your professional your professional aspirations. Is that correct, sir?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. For me to dedicate, now I get to dedicate more time and energy to other things outside the game. And because it didn't happen during the game, I say, you know what? I'm going to wait until I officially hang up the cleats and open myself up for that.
Okay, now when you say opening yourself up for it, are you putting a timetable on it? You're 32 years of age. Some people would sit up there and say, I got all the time in the world. Others might feel rushed. Where's your mindset, sir?
So timeline, you know, I don't feel like you can rush. I don't feel like you can rush love. I don't feel like you can, make that happen overnight. So I'm not putting a timeline on it. But what I look at it like this: everybody I encounter with, I say that you're going to have fun, you're going to have an experience, and you're going to be better off having met me than not. Wow. And my heart's on lock. I can't help if you have the master key. But I feel like honestly, anybody you encounter with, they should be better off having met you in life than not, and that's my biggest key. Anytime I encounter with a female.
So to be clear, Rashad Jennings, are you in Times Square tomorrow dishing out roses for 1-800-Flowers? Or are you out there looking for love in Times Square? Which is it?
I will be dishing out flowers on behalf of 1-800-Flowers. You can go to 1-800-Flowers.com and you can call 1-800-Flowers and also use the promo code Rashad, RASHAD. You use Rashad as a promo code. You get 15% off of any flower that you buy. So make sure you use that promo code. But I will be dishing out flowers to as many people as I possibly can, meeting Giants fans, Dancing with the Stars fans, and hopefully collect fans on the way. But like I said, if I can't force love to happen, and I can't necessarily stop it if it does.
Rashad, I need your help with something, man, because I don't know if you know this. I hope you got a couple of minutes left because I got a little Love Doctor segment that leads into Valentine's Day where brothers giving some folks some advice. And I got somebody on the line that appears to need my help. I think you could help her, Rashad. Are you down with it? You down to help me?
Hey, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
All right. This is Bob in Pennsylvania. He's about to tell us what his plight is. Bob in Pennsylvania, take it away. You're on the line, not just with the Love Doctor, but you're on the line with Rashad Jennings.
Stephen A., Rashad Jennings. Thanks. I need some help, guys.
We're listening. Go ahead.
All right. So I've been with my girl for about 2 years now. She's finishing up her grad school. We just bought a house together. I had the idea to go away for the weekend, do like a wine country type thing, and she said, we don't really have the money for that. Just buy me a pair of running shoes. I said, all right, works out. You just buy me like a new Notre Dame hoodie. I'll buy you a pair of shoes, and that'll be it. And she said, all right, I'll send you the shoes I want. I said, well, let's just put it on our own cards and just do it, like buy our own stuff. She goes, all right, perfect.
Okay.
The next day, I buy this nice Notre Dame jersey. And I said, hey, my Notre Dame hoodie, I ordered my hoodie, and I told her, I said, hey, I just got my stuff.
Listen, Bob, Bob, I need to interrupt you a little bit, and I need you to get to your point quicker because it sounds like your signal is fading. What's the issue?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I tell her that I bought, my gift from her for me, and she says, I actually think I want to go somewhere instead. What do I do last minute for Valentine's Day? I'm stuck.
What do you do last minute? Because basically what you're saying is she spent her money, you spent your money. She got you the hoodie, you got her the running shoes, and that was it. She gave you the impression that would be all that's required. Now, right on the eve of Valentine's Day, she's telling you that she'd like to go away after all. Is that the correct description?
Yes, and she works on Wednesday, which is Valentine's Day, obviously, so she's adopted from China. I was thinking maybe China, the Chinese New Year's.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Rashad Jennings, what do you make of that?
Well, it sounds like y'all had a plan of sharing, buying each other stuff on each other's own card, which I personally on Valentine, you know what, giving a gift is something special. So I'm a man of surprises. I don't ever think a woman should know what I'm about to get her, but that's my advice. But also, since now she has another idea, it sounds like she wants to be surprised. So my advice is to make her day special with a surprise. Maybe if you don't have the time to go on vacation or take a trip or book a flight or whatever it is, you can take her somewhere very special that does not have to be the typical place.
Now, you know what I would like to add to that, Rashad? What do you think about this? I think this notion of her getting something and you getting something and both of y'all knowing, I agree with you about the surprise, but more importantly, it seemed like he, meaning Bob, was hell-bent on equal distribution. There's no equality on Valentine's Day. That's her day. And so to me, it's incumbent upon him to make her feel special. Even if she were not surprised, it should be something along the lines where he is clearly stepping out to highlight her value to him as opposed to both of them being on equal footing on Valentine's Day. I don't think she wants that, and I think that's really the statement that Bob needs to make. This is your day. This ain't about me. This is the day that I show you how much I love and value you as a part of my life. What do you say to that, Rashad?
Amen to that. Every woman wants to be put on a pedestal. Every woman wants to be recognized for how beautiful she is. And men may lead a relationship, but a woman always guides it, and she's the emotion. So you should feed into her emotions on this special day.
There you go. Bob, did you get that?
Yeah, so do you guys, like I said, she's adopted from China. You think Chinese New Year's parade in Philadelphia would work?
No. Answer the question. Do you absolutely positively know what will put a smile on her face?
Yes.
Do that.
Bam.
All right.
Do
Bam.
that. Am I right, Rashad?
Better than we. Yeah, absolutely. You know her better than we do.
That's right.
If you know how to make her happy, we're going to encourage you to do just that.
Now, Bob, get on out of here. I'm the love doctor. Rashad Jennings, man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Anytime, man.
Take it easy. Enjoy Times Square tomorrow. I'm quite sure the ladies listening to the show will definitely enjoy you in Times Square. Looking forward to it, my man. You take care of yourself.
All right. Be blessed.
All right. The one and only Rashad Jennings, formerly the New York Giants, right here with Stephen A., ESPN Radio.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Thanks again to Rashad Jennings, formerly of the New York Giants, for coming on the show. He's going to be in Times Square live tomorrow, handing out roses to the lovely ladies on behalf of 1-800-FLOWERS, 1-800-FLOWERS.com. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Jay in Jersey. You're live with Stephen A. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, hi, Stephen A.
Go ahead, buddy.
I got two quick questions about LeBron. Do you think the Cavaliers with their new team will get out of the East?
Yep.
Or you think they'll make it over the Celtics?
Yep.
And now, do you think that LeBron will stay in Cleveland next year?
I don't know. Only LeBron knows that. I'm not about to guess. Bro. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's go to Sean in Inglewood real quick. You're live with Stephen A. Go ahead.
All right. I'm really tired of people going at LeBron just in general. It seems like every 5 years of his career, he's going through a different type of scrutiny on his performance. His first, when he came in there, he was going straight up and talking about will he develop in the league. He proved that. He got to the playoffs his third or fourth year in the league. After that, he proved that, and then he finally became an NBA champion. Now they're talking about that people can't really play with him like that. LeBron's a straight winner 24/7, so I really
No, not 24/7. You don't lose 5 championships and be a straight winner 24/7.
Okay, you got me on that one. But what more scrutiny does he? Why does he keep?
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Does any player you know ever deserve to play without any scrutiny? Any player?
LeBron does. LeBron does because
Michael Jordan didn't. Nobody did. There's no player in NBA history that didn't have scrutiny. That's the whole point. You proved my point. That's why I need to get Continental Tissue as a sponsor. That's exactly why. Because no player has played without scrutiny. So why should he? Michael Jordan is 6 for 6 with 6 NBA Finals MVPs, and he went through scrutiny. So why can't somebody who's lost 5 finals in 8 tries get some scrutiny?
Because Michael Jordan also went to college. LeBron been out there.
So let me get this straight. So because LeBron didn't go to college, he came straight out of high school. That means he deserves to play his entire career with no scrutiny.
LeBron been a grown man. He been doing his own thing, single mother household, everything.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. You ain't getting away with that with me. I don't bring up the negative about people's personal life like that, but I damn sure ain't gonna sit up there and let you gloss over criticism with the positives. What the hell does him being a good father and a good husband have to do with me saying, excuse me, on the basketball court, you're going to be a better leader this year? What does that have to do with it? What? There's nothing to do with it. That's the damn problem. That's the problem right there, Sean. You got to be kidding me. We're talking about LeBron James being a 3-time champion, going to the finals 8 times. But guess what? You might have to massage the egos of some sidekicks around you because you need them to help you win. And you're telling me because he came straight out of high school to the pros and that he's a good father and he's a good husband, he doesn't deserve any critique about his game? You got to be one of the most ignorant people I've heard calling to a sports talk radio show. It's just stupid. This is that kind of stuff right there that just reeks of ignorance. What if he were a bad husband? What if he were a bad father? Should we be on the radio talking about that? I don't think so. It's none of our business. So why is it all of a sudden it be lumped into the bowl of positivity when we're critiquing his basketball game? Why don't you just turn in your damn basketball card and not even watch anymore? Since fatherhood and parenthood usurps basketball skills about basketball. Just ignorant. Goodbye.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.